started. Welcome to another episode of Industry Celebrities. My name is Kimberly Scott, former video girl and now podcast rookie. Industry Celebrities is a podcast where I interview professionals in all sorts of industries, asking questions about their passions or their industry, which makes them all celebrities to me. If you'd like to share your knowledge or your passion and be on Industry Celebrities podcast, email me at Kimberly, Kimberly at marketingdoer.com. And you can listen to other episodes by searching my name in iTunes for you iPhone users, Anchor for your Android users, or watch, or I should say, listen to the audio on YouTube. Just search Kimberly D. Scott. So I would like to be the first to welcome today's guest, or welcome back, Mr. Gene Harris with Residential Waste Services. Hi, Gene.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thanks.
I appreciate you for joining me again. So is it true that I heard a rumor, or maybe it's not a rumor, that you're speaking at the Alabama Apartment Association?
It is true. I can confirm here today that it's not a rumor. It's true.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm
excited.
Yeah. Alabama Apartment Association trade show and expo, or I should say Education Conference and Expo, right?
Yes.
I've been definitely highly attended and their speakers were great. So kudos to you. Congratulations. What are you speaking on?
Actually speaking on two topics. One is creating a winning team with hiring winners. And the second one is winning at customer retention. So their theme is winning.
Winning!
Yeah, that's their theme this year. So
hiring a winning team. That's great, but I'm really excited. You're going to have to definitely record that winning at customer retention, because I would love to hear your insight on how they should do that. I'm about to renew my lease. So.
Oh, really?
Yes,
okay.
I am.
Yeah.
Any suggestions on what I could tell my the property manager here?
Well, unfortunately, I'm not doing a seminar for the residents.
Darn it!
That would be good though. I might not be ever be invited back to speak at another apartment association conference. If I were coaching the residents, no, but it's more the whole theme of the idea is that it's creating a culture on the property management side. And it's funny you say you're about to renew your lease, because that's kind of the number one biggest topic that I hammer on the most, and that I, coming from outside the industry, if you recall, I think we did talk about it a little bit. Okay.
Coming from Hollywood video. Yes,
that's right.
I remember.
Okay. So coming from Hollywood video, coming from retail into this business. So I definitely have a different perspective when coming into this industry. And one thing I quickly realized is that as a whole, our industry focuses more on the front door than they do the back door.
Yes.
And they focus more on getting new leases than they do keeping the ones they've got. And for me, it's one of my favorite questions. I love asking this question. It is, did you know that if no one ever moves out of your apartment community, your occupancy won't go down?
And everybody says, it won't?
They say, yep, I know that. I was like, well, it's funny because that's not how you run your business. And there's a lot of energy and time and focus on the front door, starting from the standpoint of when an employee first hire a leasing consultant, we put them through a week or 2 weeks of leasing 101 and teach them how to lease an apartment. And it's all fun and exciting, and how to answer the phone and how to respond to emails and et cetera. And then we put them out on site and we do all these secret shoppers to make sure they're doing everything correctly. And we got this 5-page checklist that the secret shopper has to go through to make sure the lease did everything correctly. And then we spend all this money on advertising and driving curb appeal and driving new traffic, et cetera. And then when it comes time to renewals, it's more of a, ho-hum, everyone, a big eye roll when I got to work on renewals, and not a lot of time and energy focused on keeping the resident.
And is it cheaper to keep her or keep me?
That's right. Cheaper to keep her. That's exactly it.
It's cheaper for me as a resident I don't want to move, but
that's right.
It's almost like I feel, I'm just going to say from my opinion, I feel like, they don't care enough to try and do, even if they were to paint my walls, they were to if it's going to go up, if rent's going to go up, okay, then what am I going to get for that going up? And
that's right. What's the value?
Yeah, what's the value there?
Where's the value? And it's creating that value, and we can create that value in a number of ways from day one. Like, and again, it goes back to this on-site management has to have this perspective, and it's it's creating understanding that's the most important piece, is keeping the resident. Yes. And it starts from the first day you move in.
Exactly.
And time and energy focused that way. And it's also from a larger, bigger picture, are they incentivized properly? Another thing is incentivizing the team to look at the things that you want them to look at. Yeah. So if they're incentivized based on new leases alone, and they're getting bigger bonuses and commissions based on new leases, then obviously that's where they're going to focus their time and energy. If they're bonused on customer retention, then guess what? That's where they're going to focus. It's weird, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm already prepared. We want to stay here. We might want to just move to the 4th floor, but I don't. Mm-hmm. I really don't want to move if I don't like from a whole other apartment community to another one. Because the apartment's, only 100 units. The pool is amazing. The location's amazing. Mm-hmm. The staff is great. They respond. Well, if you go in there, they don't always respond to emails, but they do their best job, with the tools they have, and they have events, so I really don't want to leave. However, I'm feeling like I'm ready to say, what are you going to do for me? And if you're not going to do anything, then we're going to leave, because,
That's, and how long have you lived there?
In January, it'll be a year, but apparently
it'll be a year in January. It's funny. Okay. Yeah. So here we are in September, not quite September yet. Maybe when this comes out, it'll be September. Yeah. A couple of days. And you're already thinking about this.
Well, they tell us we have to do 90 days. We have to give a 90-day.
90-day notice. Wow.
Maybe even.
That's new.
Or 60. Maybe it's 60 days. It's
60 days. Typically it's 60. Yeah. That's the norm on an institutional level. But the reason why I bring that up is because when I was running deals, I sent my renewal notices out 120 days prior to your lease expiring. Where when I came in this business, I would see managers not do it at all, or maybe send it out on the 61st day, because they got to give me a 60-day notice, so they send them this because they think they've got you between a rock and a hard place. And again, that's an adversarial point of view, right?
Yeah.
Versus trying to work together
to come up with a solution for me to stay.
There you go. So what I was trying to do, because I said, listen, residents know that they have to give a 60-day notice. So prior to that time, the resident begins to have an internal conversation with themselves. It's not like you're doing now. You just vocalize your internal conversation you're having, all the things that's going through your mind. Do I want to stay? Why do I want to stay? What's important to me? What's not important to me? What are they going to do? Et cetera, whatever. And so if we wait till even the 90th day, because even in your mind, you said, well, I got to give a 90-day notice. So in your mind, you're already saying, I need to have my mind made up by the 90th day.
Well,
right. So
kind of, but yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
But this is true. This is what happens. And so I send you that you've already made up your mind. A lot of times what I see is that we're sending out notices for renewals, and the resident has already made their mind up whether they're going to stay or go. Yes. Unless you make this most unbelievable offer, they've already made up their mind.
Correct.
And now we're in a position of trying to change your mind. And how difficult is that?
Yeah, it's hard.
Very, very difficult. So what I've always done is I try to get to you before you've had started having that conversation. Go ahead and throw my offer out first. And what I used to do is I never raised rents. I mean, I was always typically running in concession-driven marketplaces. So I looked at it this way. So if I was given a concession at the front door to a new resident, there's no reason in the world I should be raising my current customers unless it's below, right?
Yeah.
Now let's say all things being even, it was $1,000, just making up even numbers, and you're paying $1,000, and market rate for that unit today is still $1,000, and I'm giving them 1 month free to a new customer, right? There's no reason in the world I should be increasing your rent.
Yeah.
Honestly, because it's again. Because if let's say I sent you $100 rent increase, right? And you came in and was like, well, I don't want to pay your $100 rent increase. And I was like, well, too bad, because that's just what we have to do for whatever reason, right? Fill in the blank there. Well, then you move.
And it costs more to turn it.
But guess what? I'm going to give the new guy 1 month free.
Oh, wow.
I'm still going to give away the month free.
That's a lose-lose.
That's so bad. I mean, I would just sit there and watch this happen, and my mind would just be blown. I'm like, are you kidding me right now?
Yeah.
But everybody just gets so, well, you know, this is fair housing. I have to send everyone the same increase, which is not true. You can negotiate. You're allowed to. Fair housing says you're allowed to negotiate.
Yeah.
But anyway, it is lose-lose. And so what I try to do is I try to send out fire first early before you've had a time to have the conversation with yourself, so that at least I can at least be involved in that conversation too.
Yes.
Right?
I'd rather you be involved.
That's right.
As the renter. Because then I know
exactly.
Because then I know what to expect. I already have you know, unfortunately, because I'm from the industry, I know probably too much that, you know, I'm smarter than the average bear, I guess, a renter per se, but I definitely would love for them to be like, no, we want you to stay. What can we do? But that has never happened since I've lived in the DFW market. Like, they've never said. And so I've moved every year because I've never said, oh, we absolutely want you to stay. What can we do to make this work? They've just been like, oh, this is the way it is. And this is okay. Bye-bye. I think I've only stayed one place, and they, and because they didn't go up much on my rent. So I was like, okay, you know, that I was like, okay with, and it was, you know, small community and all. And then, maybe one other time because I might've called in a favor. I don't remember. But anyways.
Here's how, Kimberly, I'm gonna put my property management hat on for a minute. I'm gonna pretend to be your property manager. Okay. Here's exactly how I'd have this conversation with you. I say, Kimberly, you know, appreciate you as a resident, et cetera. You know, obviously, you know, price increases, you know, as the economy gets better, you know, the value of things going up, it costs us more to operate the apartment community. You know, we're gonna, you know, so we're asking a price increase from everyone. What do you think is fair?
0.
0 increase.
Well, what do I get for that increase? You know,
well, you tell me. You tell me. What do you think's fair?
Okay, if I want to move to the 4th floor without being charged anything extra, is that possible?
And is the 4th floor more? Does it cost more to live on the 4th floor?
I don't believe so.
It's the same price?
Yes. It's
okay,
same
I would
rent
you. Okay, I would rent you the 4th floor apartment home at today's market rate. Whatever I'm offering for it today, then I would rent that unit to you at that price, whatever that is.
Or maybe I could say whatever the market rate price is, plus throw in my garage for free, because I'm paying for my garage right now.
You're paying for your garage.
Yeah.
How much is your garage?
$75.
$75. And is this apartment community currently doing any type of concessions or anything like that you know of?
Not that I know of.
Okay. Well, that you know, I probably would. Maybe I'd say, well, what if I gave you half off your garage?
Yeah. Okay.
This year.
Yeah.
So you're going to relocate to the 4th floor, and I give you half off your garage.
Okay.
I would do that.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, it's a conversation that I don't think I've ever had with anybody.
Exactly. But what I wanted to point out, and if people can rewind and go back and listen to that moment, and this is the key that and you are sophisticated, so most people would have just said, yeah, you know. So go back to that moment when I said, what do you think is fair? And you struggled.
Yes, I did.
So hard. You know why? Because I'm going to tell you this right now. No one ever, and maybe one day they will, maybe there's someone out there will do it. No one has ever asked for more than I was willing to give. Wow. And it's all about who has the power, right? And so when I give you the power, when I empower you, my customer, I say, customer, you tell me what's going to be right and make you happy. People get all, because then they don't want to be the bad guy. They don't like, I don't want to act like I'm asking for the world. And I said, and I use the word fair, and that is, so okay, I know you got to run a business, and I know this is what I want, but I really need it. And so you start going through all this stuff, whatever. But when we finally get to a conclusion that we agreed upon, you go back and you're very, very happy.
Yeah.
You're more happy than when you were before you talked to me. Because like, wow, I really love living here. I have a voice. I can come in and sit down and have a conversation with them. They really appreciate me as a customer. I mean, it just goes boom, boom. I mean, I'm going to win so much more from giving you half off your garage than I would have if I'd have said, no, I'm sorry. You have to have a price increase. If you want to transfer, then you have to pay your transfer fee and you have to do this and et cetera, whatever. Because if you decide to move out, I still have to turn that unit. You'd have to pay a transfer fee to move out.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I get to keep. I'm gonna have to turn that unit anyway. So I'd rather keep you because and then let's look at this. You paid your rent on time. I've never had any problems out of you. The next guy you move in here, it's a coin flip.
Yeah.
You never know. You know what I'm saying? So and now not only that, but I've got you as a talking head in my apartment community. Who, when you're at the pool or you're talking to your friends, you're like, oh my God, I love this place. This place is so awesome. All my friends should live here. You're just, but boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
And what happens is the opposite happens if I send you the rent increase, and this happened to me. I had an employee in actually Montgomery, Alabama, and she's new to the business. She come from Wells Fargo banking, only been in the business a few months, and her property did a price increase. And she went in there and talked to them, and they were like, well, they were using one of the revenue management software programs. Like, well, the computer says this is what we have to do, and I'm sorry, and da 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 da. And after she told me that story, she went on to tell me everything that was wrong with that apartment community at that point. She's like, well, they don't pick up, the trash or the cigarette butts on the ground. Or they don't pick up after the pets. And they don't enforce this. And they don't do that. And I have blah, 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 and this and that. And she starts nitpicking the property to pieces where she wouldn't have done that had they worked with her. She'd have been loving it. And she recognized these things, but they weren't that big of a deal. All of a sudden now, because she's being told no, absolutely. They're huge deals now. And now, especially with social media and all the online presence, you can go out there and blow them up, right?
Yeah, unfortunately.
So anyway, I've won way more in my past lives doing it that way versus the other way around, which is just forcing it down your throat, empowering you and giving you the decision. And, there's just so much more that can come from that versus trying to just say, this is what it is, to take it or leave it. See you later.
Yeah.
Alligator.
You're helping them win. You're definitely going to be winning. You're teaching them winning skills at the next Alabama Apartment Association Education Conference and Expo. When is this? When is it?
It'll be September 13th and 14th in Birmingham, Alabama.
Birmingham.
Beham.
Yeah. Well, cool.
That's right.
Well, I'm excited for you. I'm excited for your all that you're going to be educating. And are you gonna do some role playing? If you're awesome. I love role playing.
Yes, I'll do a lot of role play. I love role play. I love engaging the audience. That's a lot of fun for me. I like the give or take pieces of it. So I like to ask a lot of questions. And yes, we will be doing some role playing. I'll actually bring in some of when I was in retail. I'll use that as an example because I think it really paints a better picture. In that business, what's interesting is in that business, your hands are even more tied.
Absolutely.
You have no control over the price. You have no control over the product. You have no control over advertising. Yet somehow you're supposed to increase sales and keep your customers coming back. Or in our business, we totally have control over all three of those things.
Yeah.
And what happens is when things go bad or occupancy starts to fall or we need to do things, our first go-to is to go to that change the price, right? We run a concession. And then the next piece is, then we need more traffic. So let's spend more money on advertising, right? Let's get more people in the door. And the third piece, which is the most management intensive or capital intensive, is the product, right? New appliances, changing, going from black to stainless or whatever. And the problem is, in 99% of the time, is people.
Yeah.
It's and that's the only thing I had control over in the retail business. So when I came into this business, that's what I focused on first versus doing those other three things. And I've won so much more.
Yeah.
In doing that. So.
Well, great job. I'm excited for you and
Thanks.
Can't wait to hear the feedback from folks that attend. I'll make sure that we put this out and then repost this or share this podcast on September 13th and 14th. So those Birmingham, Alabama folks know what to expect.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you so much. If somebody's interested, where would they want to go how can they reach you?
The easiest way to reach me right now is via email, which is my name, eugene.aharris@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
Is probably the quickest and easiest way right now to reach me. I'm actively setting up my social media stuff, accounts, so there might be some more info to come later. Maybe we can attach it onto this when you publish it.
Look you up on LinkedIn, right?
That's right. I'm on LinkedIn also. It's Gene Harris, GeneHarris, comma CAPS, caps.
Okay. Well, maybe by the time this comes out, I'll have helped you set up your YouTube channel, because
that's right.
Everybody needs one. I'm excited for your latest adventure, getting out there. And you do have a charismatic personality, and people like to engage in conversation with you. Hence why I've asked you to be on the podcast twice. I hope that you will be a regular guest. We'll tackle all sorts of topics.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yes.
I'm excited about it for sure.
Yes, me too. Well, I appreciate you coming back, and hoping that you will be a regular guest on my Industry Celebrities podcast.
I'll always be available, no matter how big and famous I get.
Oh,
always
okay.
Be a podcast.
That's recorded and documented. Well, great. I appreciate you so much, and thank you, listeners, for tuning in. We'll wrap this up, and make sure you check Gene Harris out at the Alabama Apartment Association in Birmingham, Alabama, at 13th and 14th.
That's correct.
Yeah. And you can also find him on LinkedIn and soon to be other social media channels that he will announce next time he's on. Thank you so much. And remember, everyone, if you want to subscribe to the YouTube or iTunes channel podcast, just search Kimberly D. Scott. And you can also look me up on Facebook, Insta, Twitter, Snap, and LinkedIn. So until next time, stay positive and keep growing. Thanks, Gene.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.